You have to explore. You have to get out of the box. And okay, well, basically that's it. That's all I got on this protesting stuff. Okay, let's continue. We're going to, I'll talk about BP again. There hasn't been a lot of news on BP changing, that is. But there has been interesting thoughts as to, are we a nation of laws or a nation of men? The Founding Fathers had a specific thought as to what a republic meant, as opposed to democracy. Democracy is the thought where 51% of the nation can outweigh the rights of 49%. And what am I trying to tell you? Congressmen, the president, the I can't think, justices on the Supreme Court, people on the state scale, municipalities, these guys all swear an oath to the Constitution of the United States. And if necessary, from what I gather, the state's constitutions. This means that they become law-abiding people. They have to abide by the Constitution, which is the supreme law. And it says it in the Constitution. But they do not actually do so. You know, the healthcare law is unconstitutional on multiple levels, in my opinion. The Federal Reserve, even the income tax is still unconstitutional, I'd say. In a democracy, you're not going to abide by the Constitution. You're going to abide by the prevailing attitudes of the day. You're going to say, hey, if BP doesn't pay all of what they have to do, all of those damages, then they'll be taken up by the government. First off, the government can't take private property like that. Second off, they can't make an ex post facto law. If you look at Article 1, Section 8, no bill of attainder or ex post facto law shall be passed. And this means that they can't, if there's a law on the books and BP expects that law to be in effect while they're doing action, then if this accident was created, their liability caps at a certain spot according to the law as it is. Now the president wants Congress to repeal that law, and that would be an ex post facto law because you'd have to actually pass a bill to repeal the law. And that is unconstitutional, and it's definitely unlawful. It's very unfair. It creates a lot of uncertainty, and I have a big problem when people do not abide by the Constitution. It's just happening all the time, though. People are so used to it now. Nobody's up in an uproar. Nobody's yelling about this. I understand that BP needs to, pay for all the damages and just, pay for the accident. It was their fault. But the federal government told them what to do. The federal government, is thinking of repealing this. This is just totally unlawful. And this is why, again, the president is a dictator. Well, that's precisely the definition of a president anyway, though nobody really wants to get that. It is what it is. You have to understand, you can't just pick apart words. This is the truth. You need to understand the truth. They say, you know, in the movie The Patriot, Mel Brooks, no, what's his name? Was that him? Whatever. The Patriot, right? He said, why, this was set during the Revolution, well, in this case, just before the Revolution, before the Continental Congress decided to go for it. He says, why would I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? That's precisely what we have. Well, technically we have 536 tyrants plus 9 justices, quote unquote. This is absurd, and I can't take it anymore. All right, but again, okay, let me go straight into the idea that this is a conflict of interest in the fact that the president and the media are going to portray the government as the good guy, because otherwise all the power would be lost. It's a matter of power. We are human, we are fallible. This is the point of liberty in the first place. You know, if we can spread the powers as opposed to combining it all into the one guy, the president, if we can spread the power across to multiple people, then there would be less damage. Monarchy, republics, as the founding fathers would have had it, would condense power and limit it. Not condense it, but spread it. I'm sorry. If you spread the powers, and if you spread, like, this is why we have states, why we have municipalities, cities, towns, villages, whatever. The closer the power is to the people, and the limited it is towards the larger entity, then you'll have a much more safe and free society. But everybody is starting to want to condense power into the president specifically. I'm noticing this more and more. Why didn't the president do something about the oil spill? Well, he's one guy. You need people, engineers at that, to dive under and fix that oil spill. One guy, the president, can't fix an oil leak. He's technically, he's an ambassador. He's a diplomat. That's all that the president means. He's to preside, to be a diplomat for the United States. He's not to be this dictator, as people are starting to pervert it into. Of course, that's always what it has been by definition anyway, but by the word, preside. He is to preside over the United States, basically for foreign affairs. That's what the federal government was for anyway, except for a few other minor things in Article 1, Section 8. Okay, let me get back to the idea of conflict of interest. We have the media. The media is supplemented, well, the mainstream media is supplemented by the government because it has so much money and it has so much power to influence minds. To get a balanced view, you should definitely take a look at the mainstream media, but also open your mind to the independent media, at the very least. And again, because humans are fallible, the independent media will be fallible once in a while as well. but it's amazing how much error there is, whether it's by mistake or not. In this case, I can't really say. I'm not there. But the more you look at it, it's just blatantly obvious at the confiscation, the obfuscation of the truth, the fallibility of them.